Welcome to this Android channel, and we're going to talk a little bit about, snooping practices by Google. I think it's worth it to talk about some interesting numbers that came out yesterday. So, by looking at, our smartphones, our tablets, Android, or if you have an iPhone, of course, there's a certain number of there's some snooping going around a little bit. They are looking at the data. The devices we have are sending out data to the companies and are giving them stats and all sorts of information about us, location, apps we use, search results, all sorts of things. Basically, our private life as we use the device is kind of being sent out to these companies. But one of the interesting aspects of it is that, according to um, some analysis of the data sent out, it seems that basically there's a lot of data on Android that's being sent to Google in different ways. And basically, the information we have is that if you compare an iPhone to an Android phone, when they are idle, and that means you're not using it, it's in your pocket, you're moving around, you're doing nothing except just your phone is with you. Well, Android devices send 10 times more data to Google than iPhones do, which is quite amazing and is actually giving us a interesting look at basically possible, privacy problems with this. So the extensive research was conducted by Professor Douglas C. Schmidt of Vanderbilt University, and it's revealed pretty much different ways that Google is actually receiving or collecting data from us, and that comes from you know Google products and services, Google Analytics of all sorts, ads, of course. Google is the biggest ad company in the world. The different software we use, Google Chrome browser. They've noted actually that just removing Google Chrome browser from your Android device and using a third-party browser like Microsoft Edge, for example, already lowers a lot of the data being sent. So, of course, the more you use Google services and products and apps, the more data they get from you. So that's kind of interesting. And it creates a little problem. Now, in a 24-hour period where they looked at devices sending out data in the background, in the test that they did with some Android devices, Google would actually phone home 340 times in a 24-hour period, averaging 14 data communications per hour, and the location-based information made up 35% of all the data samples. So 35% of all that data is where you are right now. So that's kind of interesting. And if you compare that to an iPhone with Safari active, Google's data collection was almost imperceptible. There's like almost nothing that would be notable here. So there's really a lot more data being sucked out of the phones or Android phones and tablets than an iPhone. Um, One of the things also that is kind of a privacy problem, and that I think Google she needs to change some things. That data that Google is actually getting is, of course, anonymized, as we call. So what is being sent out doesn't have the information required to know that it's your phone and it's you. Or, okay? And, companies do that. Microsoft does that with its data also that it's receiving from Windows. But there's a big problem with Google. It's an ad company. And it has a lot of services that you might be using. And they say that even though all the data transfer is anonymized, they say that in reality, at Google, if they sit down and look at all the data received, they can actually all match the data and say, oh, that's from this account, from that guy, from that phone. They can kind of reverse engineer the data and say, oh, well, it's that guy. Oh, it's that guy from Montreal with a Galaxy S9 Plus phone. And that's what he does, and that's what he likes. And that is in itself a little dangerous. I think we need updated policies that really let us know that they don't do it. Because right now it's very grayish area where we don't really know what they're doing. We won't really know. We got to believe their little text says, well, we're not going to use things for bad, and we're not going to do anything bad with your data, and it's anonymous, and it's, yeah, but the latest information we get about how this data being sent out is a little controversial. Maybe we'd like a little more transparency and knowing what exactly, and why not give a set of rules of this is the rules we follow to make sure that we can't really pinpoint it's you. I don't know. It's the problem. I don't have a problem with gathering of data on what we do, because I always say, on the ad side, for example, I'd rather have ads about something that are interesting to me than have ads about something that I don't care about because they just can't track me and know what I like. I don't really have a lot of problem with that. I don't have a problem with ad tracking. I don't have a problem with location-based tracking to help me out find, I don't know, the nearest pizza place. That you gotta accept to give a little bit of your privacy in exchange for the services. There's no other way around it. The problem is, how far is that going right now? And this suggests that with Google, it's going maybe a little too far now. I don't know. It's something to think about. What do you think about it? What's your opinion on this? If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. And the following videos, I'll be posting a few tips and tricks on actually how to lower the amount of data that you're sending out to Google, and talk about some of the settings that you can change in your smartphone or tablet to be a little more private, and also things you can do like VPN apps to be more encrypted and more little personal in your smartphone usage. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Thank you for watching.